Homer secretly used his insurance policy to buy a bottle of hair growth formula. When he got home, he applied the potion to his head, then hung himself upside down and massaged his scalp with a comb for a while. Finally, he put on a hat and prayed to God. When Homer woke up the next morning, he had grown a thick head of luscious hair.
I have hair! I have hair! I have hair!
Homer ran out of his house and told everyone in town about his new hair. He then went to the barber shop and had the stylist give him a simple haircut. Life became very different for Homer after he had hair. His co-workers all felt like he had become a different person. Burns was so impressed by Homer's new look that he even gave him a promotion. Homer was successfully promoted to executive in charge. However, the nuclear power plant's main problems were low productivity and frequent accidents. Burns valued Homer highly and asked him to offer some suggestions. Yet all Homer talked about were improvements related to food. Burns thought it over and felt Homer had a point. After all, only happy workers can work hard, and satisfying workers' dining needs would make them twice as effective.
I like the cut of your jib, Simpson. Let the fools have their tartar sauce.
After that, Burns actually improved the cafeteria food, and sure enough, the accident rate hit a historic low. Burns hadn't expected Homer's reforms to work so quickly. However, Smithers pointed out that all the previous accidents had been caused by Homer. After hearing this, Burns assumed Smithers was just jealous of Homer. Burns decided it was time to give Homer the key.
Mr. Simpson, don't sit on that filthy thing 1 second longer. They've given you the key.
The key.
Homer used the key to open the door to the executive washroom, where he happened to run into Burns, who had just finished using the facilities. To Homer's surprise, after washing his hands, Burns asked Homer to hand him a towel. Seeing this, Smithers felt he was being replaced and became very jealous of Homer. Late that night, Smithers sneaked into the records room and found Homer's file. He discovered that Homer had previously used his insurance policy to buy hair growth formula. Now Smithers had something on Homer. That day, Burns asked Homer to prepare a work-related presentation, but just then, Smithers came to Burns with Homer's file and told him about Homer's insurance fraud. After hearing this, Burns immediately wanted to tear Homer to pieces. He swore he would make Homer suffer as an example to everyone.
With pleasure, sir.
At that moment, Homer found Carl and asked him to help write a speech. But Smithers notified Homer that he was fired. He showed Homer the evidence and told him to pack his things and get out. However, Carl stepped forward and claimed that he was the one who committed insurance fraud. Smithers had no choice but to fire Carl instead. Homer didn't understand why Carl would save him. Carl said it was what he had to do. Homer didn't know what he meant, but he was very grateful to Carl for letting him keep his position.
Bye, Carl. I'm gonna miss you.
Bye, Mr. Simpson.
Homer felt he was doomed. Carl was gone and there was no one to help him write his speech, but at least he still had his hair. At that moment, Bart found the hair growth formula Homer had bought at home. He imagined how cool and popular he would be with a beard, so he poured the hair growth formula on his face. Just then, Homer came home and saw this scene. Bart got so scared that he threw the bottle on the floor.
Oh, you little... Dirty trick.
Homer looked at the spilled hair growth formula and started crying. He even put his hair on the floor, trying to salvage it. All of Homer's hair fell out, but he had to give his presentation in 5 minutes. Then he noticed a letter on the table that Carl had left. After reading it, Homer confidently went on stage to give his speech. But when people saw that Homer was bald, they thought Homer was just talking nonsense and didn't have the ability to teach them how to run a nuclear power plant. In the end, all the audience left. Burns also stripped Homer of his position as executive in charge and had him return to his previous job.